What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, let's go to opening weekend at Keeneland. And boy, I could not be more excited. I love Keeneland, whether it be the spring or the fall meet. They're both great to me. So let's go not to opening day, but let's go to the next day, Saturday, October 5th, race 9 on the card. It'll be the Grade 1 Breeders Futurity, of course, 2-year-old race going a mile and a 16th. Always a fun race. Always just such a fun race. Sometimes it's super productive for races going forward. Sometimes it's not, but it really doesn't matter as far as that goes. It's just a lot of fun every single time they run this race. So field of 11 this year, pretty good field. Hopefully we get 2-3 runners out of this one going to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Let's look at it now and let's go one by one like we always do. We'll start from the rail, pull the race up on the screen here for you now. And we'll start with the number one for Ferocious. And if you did not watch racing over the summer, you really missed out on a nice horse here. Ferocious broke the maiden August 3rd at Saratoga by 7 3/4 lengths. And for my money, it was the most impressive maiden special weight at Saratoga this year. It was just a dominant effort. Just looked great. Loved everything about it. Stepped up to the Grade 1 hopeful next, was 3-5. A horse that probably he earned that 3-5. He was that impressive on debut. And stalking the pace in that race like he did in the first one. And then at one point, it really looked like this horse was going to finish like 6th, 7th. Like he was just kind of backing up. It's like, oh man, maybe he bounced. Maybe he's just not that good. Did I overrate him? Like all these things going through my mind. And then all of a sudden, Chancer McPatrick passes this horse. And Chancer McPatrick goes on to win the race. He's now 2 for 2 after winning that race. And for whatever reason, Ferocious just re-engages and like sticks to him basically the length of the stretch, or at least when Chancer Patrick got next to him, stuck to him the whole rest of the race and finished the second, beating a half length. It was the damnedest thing. You just don't see that very often, if ever. So it's clear that Ferocious, he's kind of, I don't know that he really knows exactly what he's doing out there, but it's also clear he's talented. So look, I think this is a horse going forward that should get better. I think that's a learning experience. Maybe they kind of figured some things out. Maybe they kind of know now, be a little more aggressive on him, as they come into the stretch, things like that. And with 2-year-olds, that's a thing. You're constantly learning what they need to be told to do while they're learning what to do. So there's still so much to like about Ferocious, but that was an awkward effort. There's no doubt about it. But look, now stretching out to a mile and 16th, I think that'll be good for him. He's got a great distance pedigree, so I think he's the one to beat, even though he's drawn the rail today. All right, number 2 is Saratoga Cruiser. Speaking of Saratoga Cruiser. This is a horse coming off of a maiden special weight win at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. He won by a half length. The number obviously very slow, as most of those numbers are, those 2-year-old races at places like Horseshoe or Parks or Laurel or things like that. They just kind of naturally get a lower number. I don't worry about speed figures too much, especially in 2-year-old races. I did go back and watch this race. I think he's really going to have to step up, though. This looks like a tough spot. So I don't have a ton of interest in the number 2 Saratoga Cruiser. Number 3 is Optical. This is a horse that it took 4 times, but he did break the maiden last time out at Churchill Downs, going 1 mile, and did it by, you didn't misread that, 14 lengths. Now, the horse had not hit the board in 3 straight starts. However, 2 of them were on the turf. One of them was at Kentucky Downs, and one of them was a 5.5 furlong sprint. So, not too concerned. I just kind of, can you do that again? Did you catch a bad field? Did you catch a speed favoring track? Those kind of things, I think, are things you think about when you see a 14 length victory. Easy for me to say. So, can he do it again? I'm not sure, but I do think he's in here with a shot if he can run back to that kind of race. The number 4 is Handsome Pants, and Handsome Pants, cool name, just ran 21 days ago, and it was at Churchill Downs September 14th. Was a winner by a length and a half. I thought this was really good performance. Kenny McPeak horse here was 10-1 that day. Brian Hernandez aboard that day. He'll be aboard here as well. The horse, to me, I do think going to have to run a little bit better than that first race, even though he won. But who's to say he can't? I mean, he should improve second time out. So I think he's another one very interesting in the spot. As we keep going here, the number 5 is East Avenue. This was an 8-length winner on debut at Ellis Park. 6 furlong event there. Brennan Walsh trains with Tyler Gaffleone aboard this time around. Machado was aboard last time out, if I could speak. This Godolphin homebred. I mean, really, he just looked really, really impressive in that race. And I think he can absolutely come back here and compete at a high level. I think he can get better. I think he's bred to go long. I really like East Avenue in the spot. I think he's dangerous. And for a Walsh horse to win like that on debut, I think the sky's kind of the limit for this horse, to be honest. The number 6 is Ferocious. Ferocious comes into this race off of a big time maiden special weight win at Saratoga. So he ran twice up at Saratoga. The first race was beaten 3.5 and finished 4th. And then last time out, stretch out to a mile, won by 3.25, and just looked solid doing it. Another horse that, should be pretty good in this spot. Chad Summers trains this horse with Johnny Velasquez aboard this time around after Dylan Davis rode the last 2 races. So look, if he can run back to that last race, he's going to be tough. This is a pretty nice horse. And, I feel like I'm kind of repeating that a lot, but this is another one that comes in with a big chance. I like this horse quite a bit, especially that, stretching out in distance a little bit, and that improvement was really nice to see. As we keep going here, the number 7 is Macero, and Macero last time out was in the Iroquois Stakes at Churchill Downs. That was just 21 days ago. Got 4th, beaten 7 3/4, got beat by Jonathan's Way, Owen Almighty. I think those are 2 really nice horses, that I think would look good if they were in this race here. Maiden special weight, pretty nice win there at Ellis, and I thought stepped up and ran very well going a mile. Now we're going a mile and a quarter, and I think that's not too bad for this horse. I think that's what he's going to want. This horse is by Not This Time, who obviously they can run in any distance, really, but you think 2 turns when you think Not This Time. Of course, the trainer of Not This Time was Dale Romans, and Dale Romans has this one. It's kind of a cool story. If Dale could get a win with a Not This Time colt in the spot. So we'll see. Got that stakes experience. Really wasn't competitive in that race, but also didn't run poorly in that race either. So we'll see what happens to him this time around. The number 8 is Big Boat. Big Boat coming off a 3.5 length victory at Churchill Downs at a maiden special weight going 6 furlongs. Next logical spot is this. This horse is by Nyquist out of a Midnight Loot mare. So yeah, a mile and 16 should be okay for this horse. I think all systems go. Another one, look, lightly raced. We don't really know just how good this horse is. Kind of, wasn't under a hand ride, so to speak, in that maiden special weight, but really I don't think was fully extended either. So there might be more left in the tank for this horse. And I think this is a really good spot to give it a shot. As we keep going here, the number 9 is Tenacious Leader. So the horse will move back to the dirt after running second, only beating a neck on the turf last time out at Saratoga in the With Anticipation. Now you might think, the horse broke the maiden on the dirt. Why would we go to the turf next? Well, they tried to enter this horse on the turf, actually, in that maiden special weight 2 races back at Saratoga. It got rained out. They moved to the dirt. The horse stayed in the race, stayed on the dirt surface. It was able to get the job done pretty easily. That was not an overly tough race. But at the same time, I thought his last race in the With Anticipation, that's a really tough race. Zulu Kingdom was able to win that race. He came back to win last weekend and looked really, really impressive. Tenacious Leader was just a neck behind him in that one. I don't know. I think the turf probably is the best surface based off that race. This is another one, though. It's a Not This Time, by Not This Time, out of a Curlin mare. Everything kind of says dirt, right? So it's interesting what will happen here. I think they'll try the Breeders' Futurity. If the horse does not run well, they can always go back to the turf, because that is a pretty impressive race to only lose by a neck to Zulu Kingdom. That number came back very fast, and the number was proven to be pretty legit, because Zulu Kingdom came back and ran very well in his next start. So, I mean, if you want to take a shot here, I don't know what the price is going to be on this horse. I think he's interesting. We'll just kind of see what happens, see if he can do that on the dirt. The number 10 is Dapper Moon. This is a horse coming off of a 5-length victory at Saratoga last time out, going 7 furlongs. Dallas Stewart trainee was pretty good on debut, got second, only beaten 2.5 before, like I said, going in that second race up there at Saratoga and running extremely well. So a broken record for this race. they ran extremely well on debut. Let's see what they can do in their second starts or maybe in their third starts after that. Good debut, one, and now third start. So a lot of these horses fit that bill. That's just kind of how these 2-year-old races are. And then finally, the number 11 is Ready for Peace. This is the horse that will be making the dirt debut, actually, in this spot. After breaking the maiden at Colonial Downs, going 2-3, or winning by 2 3/4, went to Kentucky Downs and ran in the $1 million Kentucky Downs Juvenile Mile Stakes. Ran okay, got third, beaten 4 lengths. I thought it was a pretty good effort. Got beat by Tistastic and West Beach, good horses. Can the horse run on the dirt? Horses buy more than Ready out of a Warfront mare. That's not a great pedigree. There's no question about that for the dirt, I should say. It's a good pedigree. Just the dirt is a question mark. So also kind of drew poorly. That's going to be tough as well. So we'll kind of just see what happens here. With the 11 Ready for Peace. Can this horse stand up on the dirt? That is the question. All right, it's decision time. Let's try to decide who we're going to pick to win this race. And immediately I think you do go to Ferocious and you think, I think this is a pretty darn good horse, and could be tough in this spot here. But I don't love how green he was last time out, and I don't love that he drew the rail here. I'm a little worried. So I went with the number 5 East Avenue in the spot. I am going to use Ferocious. I may just, use East Avenue and Ferocious on tickets. I'm not sure yet on that one, but to win, I am going to go the number 5 East Avenue. You go back and watch that debut. Very nice debut. 8-length winner, never in doubt. I think he is fast enough to get the lead in this race as well. Keeneland, usually on that dirt track going 2 turns, you want to be on or near the lead. So I think that'll help him. He should stretch out and be better going 2 turns. I like him in this spot. I think he's I don't think he's going to sneak up on anybody. I almost said I think he's a sneaky one. I don't think that, but I think he's developing, and I think he's going to be pretty tough in here. So I'm going to go against Ferocious as far as on top. I'm going to go with number 5, East Avenue. All right, guys, I'll do it for a preview of the Breeders Futurity live from Keeneland, October 5th, race 9 on that card. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe. You really like it. You want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're betting Keeneland on opening Saturday.